Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. From past week, we were talking about data sets that are important in machine learning. Okay. So this is one simple example for that data set. This is not a complete data set. For study purpose, we have taken these small data sets. Uh, you can see in the last column, you can see two values, yes, no, yes, no. Okay. So rest of the columns you have some other values. See, this data set, we last column we call it as y, okay, and rest of the columns x. Uh, Last column indicates the class of the data set. Okay, there are two classes here in this data set, yes and no. Okay, so this data set has got two class data. Okay, it's a data set of a herb classification wherein each of these columns, other columns represents some features of the herbs like color, toughness, fungus, appearance. Okay, so these are the features, or we also call them as attributes. So these are the attributes. There are four attributes in each example, and based on these four attributes, we'll classify that particular herb either poisonous or not poisonous. Okay, so this is a data set of a herb, okay, which has got four features. Based on these four features, we are going to classify it as either poisonous or not poisonous. Is it clear? And each of these examples we call them as one instance. Okay, so this first example, this entire first example is an instance. Okay, that we call it as an instance. So this data set, this is a simple experimental data set. Okay, usually data set means it will be huge in size. Here to understand, to study our algorithms, we have taken some small experimental data sets like this. So in this data set, 7 examples are there. The 7 ways based on these features, we can classify the herbs as either poisonous or not poisonous. Okay, only 7 examples are there. If its color is green, toughness is hard, and if it has got no fungus and appearance is wrinkled, then you can call it as poisonous herb. Okay, so based on these column values, its particular class is defined here, yes or no. So in machine learning, first phase is learning phase or training phase. So to train the machine, we need data. So this is what we have discussed from the previous classes. If you want to train the machine, if you want to make machine learn, you need data set. So this is one particular data set wherein you have certain features, attributes, and its respective class. If the attribute value is so on, okay, x1, x2, x3, x4, it is belongs to class y1. Okay, x is input, y is output. See, in machine learning, wherever I use x and y values, x means it's a set of inputs, attributes, y is the class. Okay, class may be one class, two class, or three class, multi classes. It may be any values, y value. So x is nothing but x1, x2, x3, x4 attributes. It may have 5 attributes or 10 attributes. Okay, it may go on like that. So in this data set, you can see seven examples, seven instances are there, four attributes and two classes. So these examples are divided into two classes. In training phase, what happens is we'll provide these examples as training data and we'll prepare the model. Okay, some algorithm we will apply on this data and it will create a model. So what we are going to do with that model, once you create the model, what we'll do with that model? See, that model we can use it for testing purpose. That is for prediction. You can see in the bottom, new data is there. Okay, I have a new data. Once training is over, to the same system, I will provide this new data. That is, color is orange, toughness is hard, and fungus is not there. Appearance is wrinkled. Now, my system has been trained to identify the herb, okay, based on these four features. So if I provide the new data, system has to classify it as either poisonous or not poisonous. So when you see this new data, uh, can you tell me whether it's a poisonous herb or non-poisonous? Okay, reply. I want everyone to find out whether it is poisonous or non-poisonous. You have examples here, seven examples. When you see the new data and when you compare it with the given examples, so what do you think? Is it a poisonous or non-poisonous? See, if you reply, then only attendance will be marked, okay? Everyone has to answer. See, otherwise your attendance will not be marked. So when you see this new data, you have to classify. Our system has to classify it as either poisonous or non-poisonous. Just by comparing with a given example, see, I am not asking you to apply any algorithm. Here we have not learned any algorithm in machine learning. Just looking at the examples, can you classify this new data into one category, either poisonous or non-poisonous? Okay, just to compare and tell me. Simply don't type answers. Just compare and tell me, is it poisonous or non-poisonous? Okay, yeah, it is poisonous. Okay, based on the examples given in the data, if you provide the new data, okay, our system will classify this new data as poisonous itself. Okay, so this is one example for data set, and you can see one more data set here. Okay, so this data set has got six features, six attributes. Okay, sky temperature, humid, wind, water forecast. All these six things are attributes. And final column. See, always last column it says to which class each of these example belongs to, each of this instance belongs to. Okay, here yes or no. See, this is a data set with respect to enjoy water sport. Okay, based on certain weather conditions, we are going to say whether you can enjoy a particular water sport or not. Okay, so that is the task which will be handled solved using this data set. Uh, to enjoy a water sport, certain conditions has to be met. So that is given in this table. Okay, if the sky is sunny, temperature is warm, weather is humid, wind is strong, water is warm, and forecast is same, then it says that enjoy sport. You will enjoy that particular water sport. Okay, so there is one no case, negative case. When it is raining, obviously, no one will go to the water sport, so you will not enjoy the water sport. Just four examples in this case. Okay, just four examples. Again, for study purpose, we have this data set. These are not complete real-time data sets. For our study purpose, we have this kind of data set. So in this data set, four examples are there and six attributes are there. Okay, based on these six attributes, we are going to classify whether we are going to enjoy the water sport or not. Okay. So there is a new data here. In the bottom, you can see there is a new data here. Now I want you to tell me for this new data whether uh, enjoy sport will be true or false. Okay, for this new data, if the sky is sunny, warm, normal, strong, warm, safe, if this is the condition, are you going to enjoy the water sport or not? So this prediction you have to do. See, examples we are going to use for training the system. Once system is trained, we are going to provide this new data set, and this for this new data set, our system has to predict to which class it belongs to, either yes or no. Okay, all of you are saying yes. Is it correct? Have you just compared each and every feature? Okay. Is it clear how machine learning works? You need data for training. Okay, that data will provide it to the system. Using algorithm, will train the machine. Okay, it will build a model, and to that model, will provide the new data, and we are going to do the prediction or classification. So for this new data, it will either say enjoy sport is true or it is false. Okay, see, now I'm just asking you to guess these things. Is it yes or no, poisonous or not? For the same data set, in future, we'll apply the algorithms and we'll see how algorithms will give the results. Okay, so far we have not discussed any algorithms. For the same data set, okay, you just remember these answers. For the same data sets, we'll apply the algorithms and we'll see according to machine learning algorithms what results we are going to get. Okay, so this is one particular data set. Okay, one more data set. Uh, Again, so based on these weather conditions, whether we can play tennis or not. Okay, 14 examples are there. So many attribute values are there. Okay, in this case, attributes are outlook, temperature, humidity, wind. Four attributes are there, and each of the attributes got three values. Outlook can be sunny, overcast, rain. Temperature can be hot, mild, and cool. Humidity can be normal or high. Wind can be weak or strong. So based on these attribute values, we are going to find out whether you can play tennis or not. Okay, whether we can play tennis or not. Again, four examples are there, four instances are there. We'll do the training. Once we do the training, next thing is prediction. Okay, so I have given a new case here in the bottom. When the outlook is rainy, temperature is hot, humidity is high, wind is weak. So can you play tennis or not? Okay, if this is the new situation, I want to find out, my machine has to classify this as either yes or no. Is it yes or no? If this is the condition, see, obviously when it is raining, are you going to do play tennis? In the rain, are you going to play tennis? See, are you going to think by yourself, or are you going to compare them with the given set of examples? Okay, again, yeah, yeah, some conditions say true for rain also. Yeah, that example is there. Fourth example, you can say outlook is rain, still play tennis is yes. Okay, temperature is hot, humidity is high, wind is weak. So play tennis, yes or no? See, again, as I said, just I'm asking you to think, okay, compare this given new condition to the existing examples, and then we need to classify it whether it belongs to some particular class or not. Is it clear? See, it's not that simple. When you apply the algorithms, uh, it will undergo a lot of steps. Okay, we shall see. A lot of algorithms are there. We'll apply on each of these data set and we'll try to find out whether for this condition it is yes or no. Play tennis is yes or no. Okay, this is also one of the examples. Okay, 14 examples are there, 4 attributes, and each have got its own values. Classes, 2 classes, yes or no. So, instance-based learning. What do you understand by this? Instance-based learning. Instance is nothing but each of the examples we call them as instances. One instance means it consists of attributes and its particular class. That is an instance. So, instance-based learning means what do you understand by this? See, from here, your actual machine learning algorithms will start. Your syllabus will start from here. Instance-based learning means first category of learning. One of the categories of machine learning. Instance-based learning means what do you understand by that? Instance is nothing but set of attributes. One example which has got attribute values and its particular class. So in instance-based learning, what happens is we'll store all the instances in our system. Okay, whenever we are asked to predict a new value, unseen case. See, new data we call it as unseen case. Okay, that new case has got some attributes, but its class is not there. We have to decide to which class it belongs to. So in the last three data set, what you did, you have started comparing each and every attribute with each other, and then you said it belongs to some particular yes or no class. So here also it has got 3 classes, A, B, C. So this final unseen data, it has to belong to any of these 3 classes, either A, B, or C. Is it clear? In instance-based learning, what happens is we'll store the entire instances and we'll start comparing each instance with the given data, and then we'll decide to which class it belongs to. Okay. So, yeah, as I said, from here your syllabus, actual syllabus begins. First class of algorithm, we call it as instance-based learning algorithms. Again, one more question. Instance-based learning algorithm, are these are supervised learning or unsupervised learning? Is it supervised learning algorithms or unsupervised learning algorithms? See, in supervised, what did I mention? We have the supervised learning algorithm we will apply on the labeled data. Do you remember I have mentioned that we'll apply supervised learning only on labeled data. If you have unlabeled data, we'll use unsupervised learning algorithms. So you have seen 3 data sets so far. Okay, are those 3 data sets has got are they labeled data sets or unlabeled data sets? Okay. Now, have you understood the difference between labeled datasets and unlabeled datasets? See, labeled datasets means you can see these datasets. Last column, as I said, last column we call it as Y. That is the class of these examples. Yes or no. That's a label. For each and every example, there is a label. Either it is a yes class or no class. Enjoy sport is either yes or no. Okay, play tennis is either yes or no. See, this final column is the label. For each and every example, there is a label present. So all these data sets are labeled data sets. So when you have a labeled data sets, here class A, B, C, it's a label, okay? For each example, there exists a label to which class it belongs to. So whenever there is a label for the examples or instances, we call them as labeled data sets. And if you have labeled data sets, we'll use supervised learning algorithms. Okay, so instance-based learning algorithms are nothing but supervised learning algorithms. Okay, whenever I explain any algorithm, I will be asking is it supervised or unsupervised. As I said in textbook, he has not given anything. This is a supervised algorithm or this is an unsupervised learning. It is for our understanding. Okay, you have to understand whether what kind of algorithm you are learning or you are implementing, or when you have to implement which kind of algorithm, when you will decide it has to be supervised or unsupervised. Okay, so instance-based learning algorithms, they are supervised learning algorithms because we are using labeled data. Okay, we are using labeled data. One form of instance-based learning in your syllabus which is present is k nearest neighbor algorithm. Okay, which is also called as KNN algorithm. See, one of the most widely used algorithm it is KNN, and very simple machine learning algorithm it is. Uh, if you have any very simple task without complications, most of the people they will go for KNN algorithm. KNN, K nearest neighbor. Okay, NN means nearest neighbor. What do you mean by K? Can anyone answer? What is K? If you read the statement itself, you can answer what is K. K nearest neighbor. NN means neighbor, nearest neighbor. K means what? Okay. K means, okay, closest points. K is a number. It can be 1NN, 2NN, 3NN, 4NN, or 5NN. Okay, K is a number. 5 nearest neighbor algorithm, or it may be a 6 nearest neighbor algorithm. In each and every task, that k value you can change. It is not fixed. Okay, so user will decide the k value based on our requirement. Okay, k nearest neighbor algorithm, k value is not fixed. From 1 to n numbers, you can give any number of, okay, like nearest neighbors, how many nearest neighbors you are looking for. K indicates the number of nearest closest neighbors I am looking for in the instance space. See, once I show you the examples, you will understand. Is it clear? K nearest neighbor algorithm. So this is one of the instance-based learning algorithm. And see this example. All of you see this example. Okay, circle indicates our training data. This red circle indicates our training data. And this training data has got five birds, five or six. Okay, so this is a training data. So using this data, I will train my system. Ultimately, my task is to identify, if I provide a bird as input, it has to identify whether it is a penguin or a duck or a hen or what kind of bird it is. Okay, this red circle indicates the training data. I'm going to provide these five inputs as training data. Five examples are there. And test record, you can see here test record. So this is the test data, new data, unseen data. So if I give this as, see now training is over, our model is ready. Our model is ready. So if I give this as input, and if I apply KNN algorithm, what is the output you are going to get? What it will say? Okay, it will compare this with these five birds. And blue line indicates what? It is closest to these two values. Okay, when you compare this, among all these five, it is closest to these two values. So it will identify it as a duck. Is it clear? See, these are the training data and this is a test data, new data. So machine is trained, it is already trained. Now I have got a new value which I want to test against our trained model. It has to identify what kind of bird it is. So it will say it's a duck. So like assume that we have applied KNN algorithm for this. For how many neighbors you are checking? What is the K value in this case? See, in this case, what is the K value you have used? What is the K value? See, all of you think, okay, I know you have not understand, I have not explained this algorithm. I want you to guess what is the K value in this case. K value. See, See, for 2 it is closest. Okay, for 2 it has matched exactly. 2 is not the k value. Okay, 2 is not the k value. See, k nearest neighbor means my new data I will compare with the k values. Okay, assume that 3 or 5. So among 5, to whichever it is closest, I will match it to, I will assign it to that particular class. Is it clear? So in this diagram, it's a 5 nearest neighbor classifier. See, so many examples will be there, hundreds of examples. It will, for 5 closest points, it will check. And in those 5, it will select whichever closest matches are there. Okay, for 2 exact matches are there. So it will say that it has a duck. So it is a 5 nearest neighbor. Is it clear? Okay. So how does the nearest neighbor classifier works? See, this square indicates plus minus are two classes. Okay, this is an instance space. It has got these values. Plus minus means so many classes are there, so many instances are there. Okay, some 15 to 20 instances are there, and they either belong to class 1 or class plus or class minus. Okay, two classes are there. Now my task is to find out this red dot whether it belongs to plus class or minus class. Okay, see, the, um, 14 or 15 examples are there. Each belong to either class plus or class minus. That is yes or no classes. So now I have got an unknown record. That is a new record. Using k nearest neighbor, I need to find out whether it is a positive class or negative class. Okay, what are the things you need to do if you want to find out whether that red dot belongs to positive or negative? See, one thing is I have to find out this red dot, how far it is with all these examples. Okay, one by one I have to compare the distance between this red dot with all these examples. Okay, first thing is that is distance. We call it as distance. You need to compute the distance between this red dot and this minus, this red dot and this plus. Okay, you need to find out the distance between this red dot and remaining examples. Okay, that's the first thing. What is next? See, distance you have computed. Now you know how far is this red, how closest it is to all these points. So now that you know, what is the next thing? See, next thing is I have to decide k value. Okay, I have to decide k value. In this example, we have taken k value as 3. So then it will check 3 nearest neighbors. Okay. See, red point is here in this space, red point is here. It has computed the distance of itself and rest of the points. Now I will say that k is 3. Now it will try to find out how close it is to 3 neighbors. Okay. In this diagram, it is close to all positive neighbors. Plus, plus, plus. Okay. There is no negative label here. So it is close to this positive label. So what does that mean? What does that point, what you can say that new point as? See, when you see this diagram, what you can say? See, we can obviously say that this new example belongs to positive class. Okay, that's a positive dot. It belongs to a positive class. If that if that red circle is present here, what will happen? Okay, and 3 nearest neighbor. 3 nearest neighbor means this negative circle. Okay, so then this dot I can say that it belongs to this negative class. Is it clear? Okay, if the dot is here in the first place, red dot, okay, it is closest to positive dots. And 3 we have selected, so it is almost close to 3 positive dots. It's a positive dot. If I take this new dot, and you can say that 3 nearest neighbor means it is close to these 3 negative dots, and it's a negative thing. What happens if the dot is here? Okay, if the dot is present here, to which class it belongs to? If the dot is present here, to which class it belongs to? Okay, this is the dot, new dot. To which class it belongs to? See, three nearest neighbors. Which are the three nearest neighbors for this? So these are the three nearest neighbors. Okay, and among these three nearest neighbors, two positives are there, one negative is there. So this new dot belongs to positive case. Okay, is it clear? This dot belongs to this positive case because three neighbors are there. Among these three neighbors, two are positive, so this dot belongs to positive case. Have you understood? What happens? I will take 2nn instead of 3nn. I will, okay, by mistake you will say it as 2nn, and dot is present here. Okay, dot is present here, 2nn algorithm. Now, is it positive case or negative case? Dot is present here, and you have decided k value as 2. So, is it positive case or negative case? First, okay. So, these are the things you have to keep in mind when you are talking about KNN algorithm. Okay, we'll see how to handle this kind of situation. Okay, just I'm giving you the overview of KNN algorithm. Okay, K nearest neighbor means one thing is you have to calculate the distance of your new record with the other records, other examples. Once you calculate the distance, you have to find out to which neighbors it is very nearest. Okay, and based on k values, okay, 3 or 4 or 5, whatever neighbors you take, among those 5 or 4 neighbors, to which it is closest. So based on that, we are going to say, we are going to classify the new record, okay, whether it belongs to positive case or negative case or some other classes. Is it clear? Yeah, again, we are running out of time. Tomorrow I will continue with this class. One nearest neighbor, two nearest neighbor, what happens in these cases, we shall see in the next class. Have you understood? Any doubts? See, instance-based learning, uh, among many learning algorithms, we have started with instance-based learning. In instance-based, we are talking about KNN algorithm, okay, K nearest neighbor algorithm. So in KNN, just I have given the introduction. Okay, we shall continue the rest of the things in the next class. Okay, thank you. Okay, mark your attendance fast, fast, fast. Over. See, if you have answered in the chat, it's enough. No need to mark the attendance. If you have given the replies in the chat, that's also enough.